You know that feeling, right? That internal tug of war where you make a plan to do one thing and then you end up doing the exact opposite. Well, today we're going to dive into that constant battle inside all of us, the one between who we really want to be and what we actually do. Oh, yeah, we've all been there. It's like you're being pulled in two completely different directions at the same time. One part of your brain makes this perfectly logical, sensible plan, and another part just throws it right out the window. It's so frustrating, and honestly, it can make you feel like you just don't have any willpower. But here's a wild thought. What if this isn't about willpower at all? The source material we're exploring today suggests something pretty fascinating. What if this whole internal conflict is actually a power struggle between three totally different minds that are all living inside your head, each one fighting for control? So, let's meet the players, shall we? Who are these three minds that are constantly pulling the strings behind the scenes? Because understanding them, well, that's the key to understanding yourself. First up, we've got Shahwan, the desirous mind. The easiest way to think about this one is as your inner reptile. It's the oldest, most primal part of you, and it's focused purely on survival and instinct. Eat, sleep, find pleasure, avoid pain. It's that voice screaming for that extra slice of cake, no questions asked. Next, there's Atfan, the emotional mind. Now, this mind is all about your place in the pack, your social standing. It craves things like respect, status, love, and appreciation. This is the part of you that's constantly wondering, what will people think of me? And it's the one pushing you to get that fancy new gadget or chase after social media likes. And finally, we have Aqlan, the rational mind. Think of this one as the CEO of your brain. It's the thinker, the analyst. Aqlan is really what makes us uniquely human. It's the part that learns from the past, understands long-term consequences, and makes logical plans for the future. Okay, so you have these three minds, and here's the crucial point. They are always in a power struggle. And whoever is in the driver's seat at any given moment doesn't just decide what you do next. It actually determines your entire state of being. This table breaks it down perfectly. Let's use smoking as an example, right? So look at that top row, the self-prone to evil. This is when your primal and emotional minds are in charge. And your rational mind? It just becomes a professional excuse maker. Oh, smoking helps me deal with stress. Now, look at the middle row, the self-reproaching self. This is where things get messy. Your rational mind wakes up and starts a fight. And that's what creates that awful, nagging feeling of guilt. I know this is bad for me, I really need to quit. But in that final state, the serene self, your rational mind, Aqlan, is the undisputed leader. There's no fight. The decision is simple and logical. I don't smoke because it's harmful. End of story. So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we get to that serene self? How do we make sure our rational mind, Aqlan, is the one calling the shots most of the time? Well, the source material gives us a powerful one-word answer: awareness. See, the key isn't to try and crush your desires or ignore your emotions. It's become more aware of them and their long-term consequences. Awareness is Aqlan's ultimate superpower. And here's the crucial link. This awareness isn't some mystical, fuzzy feeling. No, it's a direct result of knowledge. Think about it. The more you learn, the more you feed your rational mind. You're giving it the data it needs to see the bigger picture. And when that happens, your behavior starts to change almost automatically. Okay, I know this might sound a little abstract, so let's make it real. The source gives two fantastic real-world examples of how this kind of awareness can totally transform your life. So, take this first story about relationships. The speaker used to be super argumentative, always getting into fights, and it was causing huge problems. But then he learned about different personality types. That new knowledge created this spark of awareness. He suddenly realized the other person wasn't actually attacking him. They just had a totally different communication style. That single shift in perspective changed everything. Or how about this financial turnaround? His impulse mind, his inner Shahwan, would see a cool trip online and just click book now without a second thought. Of course, this led to nearly a year of financial struggle, but the pain of that consequence was a powerful teacher. It built awareness. So now when that impulse to travel hits, his rational mind automatically kicks in and analyzes the real cost. And the result? He still gets to travel, but he does it without creating a mountain of stress for his future self. So, let's zoom out. What's the big takeaway from this whole framework of the three minds? What does all this really mean for us in our day-to-day lives? This is such a powerful idea, it really makes you stop and think.
So many of our current struggles, whether they're with money or relationships or our health, they can often be traced right back to moments in the past where our awareness was low, where we let our impulses or our ego make a call that our rational mind knew deep down was a bad idea.
Ultimately, this framework just gives us a new way to look at our own behavior. When we act purely on impulse or just for social validation, we're basically operating from our lower, more animalistic minds. But when we act with foresight, based on our values and a real understanding of the consequences, that's when we're activating Aqlan. That's when we are acting in a way that is uniquely and powerfully human. So that leaves us with one last question to think about. In that daily battle that's going on inside your head, which mind are you feeding? Which one are you making stronger? Because the answer to that question doesn't just shape your day. It might just be the answer to what makes you truly human. Thanks for digging into this with me.